So today I want to talk to you a little bit about the benefits of using graphic recording or visuals really of any kind in a conference, in a workshop, or in a presentation. The first one is a pretty obvious one. It is that it's fun. Plus, the nice thing about graphic recording, as I mentioned in another video, is that it uses visual metaphors. So this is a whole other layer of engagement. You're relating the pictures to something different. You're maybe having a little bit of fun with it, being a bit playful. It can add a sort of performative element that's super fun, super different, keeps people in the talk and not on their cell phones, which is what you want. 2, it helps with memory recall. So particularly with graphic recording, you're using visual metaphors and you're linking different parts of the talk visually together. Having a visual emphasis really helps people with their recall. They see the importance of it. You can play with scale in your picture, so one concept takes up more space than other places based on how much the speaker goes back to it. And as a participant viewing that, you know, this is important. Visual metaphors will link something you're talking about to a different concept. So I might create a metaphor of the double-edged brush as like this, I want to say double-edged sword, but I know that's kind of a bad thing, but let's forget that for the moment. And I might draw like a knight with this amazing sword that he can use on both ends. But I might use that visual metaphor to show like, hey, this thing's amazing. The person can like use it different ways. And linking that to sort of a funny, familiar image of like a hero will help a participant then link two very different ideas together. And linking ideas, we all know, helps us remember them. Something that sort of floats around that we have no context for is really hard for us to recall, but something that we can tie into other things that are familiar to us, that we know in our day-to-day, that really helps it stick. So 3rd is that graphic recording kind of flattens a hierarchy. When you're in a meeting and the visuals are captured, they are not really captured by seniority or by who said them. They're captured by the detail of what was said, like the core message that was being said, and also the emphasis that it was given in a conversation. The benefit there is that what is captured is what's important, not necessarily what people want everyone to focus on. In a workshop, that's really great because that means you're not losing things just because they weren't part of the initial plan of the day. You're not like going back to the agenda to see what happened. You're going back to a real capture of the conversation to see what happened. And by sort of flattening that playing field, you have like a fairer conversation, and that can really garner trust with people. So number 4, a really useful thing about graphic recording is that it gives you an artifact. That is something that you can take away from your workshop or your presentation or your meeting, something that you can distribute to people who weren't there, something that people who were there can go back to remember what they talked about. A lot of the times you walk out of a session or a conference with no more than maybe like a pin, like a really sweet pin. So having a visual of all the key points is super, super helpful in actually taking that information back and integrating it to your everyday, in sharing it with other people. And I always make sure when I'm graphic recording to give a digital version over to the client as well. So it's not just something that, you know, they can hang in their office, but it's something that they can share with everyone who did go to the workshop, and all the people who really wanted to but maybe couldn't make it. Those are my 4 key benefits of graphic recording. There are so many more. I mean, like I could talk about it forever. I really think it is a lot of fun to do. It's a hugely engaging practice. And I really think it can be beneficial, not just in like workshop or conference spheres, but in education, in anything where there's new complicated ideas that you want people to really sit with, take in, work on, build on. It's super beneficial. And then it's just like so much fun.